Hi, everybody, and welcome back to what I believe today is episode number 3 as we film live here on a beautiful, hot and sunny summer Montreal afternoon. Today's topic on The Winning Hand is something that is very dear to my heart because most people never think about this part in the world of gambling, and that is gambling and greed. Greed. A small, little, one-syllable word that is so powerful in its meaning. Greed. Why do people gamble? Why do we throw away money aimlessly in hopes to try and make more money? And I guess the real answer is greed. I remember when I was in rehab many years ago and talking about the world of gambling and why I did what I did. One of the therapists that worked with me on a daily basis had mentioned to me, "Howard, you were greedy." And I must tell you that I really had very little defense to her comment when she said that because, in fact, I think she was right. There are other elements to why we go gambling and why we go on junkets and why we go gambling and why we have evenings out to gamble. But I do believe that the word of greed is a very paramount word and a very paramount reason for why we do it. We're all chasing that elusive dream. If you just think about the commercials that the government put on, and I'm not just talking about here in Quebec, Lotto Quebec, I'm saying all provinces and the 47 of the 50 states in the United States and gambling around the world. Governments sell the idea of gambling because they pull at our heartstrings. They pull at the word greed, saying for a few dollars, you never know. I think there was a commercial with Lotto Quebec not long ago where it says, you never know, or it could be. And they're right, it could be. But that's like selling the idea to walk around with a special type of umbrella not to get hit by lightning when you're golfing. Yeah, it could be. But chances are it won't be. Now, yes, people win. And people make gobs of money. But take that amount of people, take that quantity, and put that on a piece of paper with a line. And on the other side of the paper, put the number of people that lose. And let's see which number is bigger. You know, there have been Canadian shows, a number of Canadian shows actually, and American, that have done documentaries on people, on families of people that have won at the casino or lotteries in general in a very, very big way. And I don't want to give out any erroneous information or numbers, but I remember it was well over 60%. Check this out. More than 60% of those people that win large at the casino or on the weekly lottery draws end up suicidal, bankrupt, divorced, or alone. Think about that. It's very similar to athletes in the World 2010, that people don't know how to have money management. When you're making $30,000, $40,000, $60,000 a year and paying top dollar in income tax, and there's a windfall of $16 million, you go nuts. You get greedy. And as I said before, invariably, people end up in trouble. But let's rewind a few minutes ago when I introduced the topic of today's show, greed. Why do we gamble? Now, most people would openly admit to their friends and family, well, we're going to go to the casino, bet a couple of bucks, have some fun. But listen to this logic for a minute. Listen for a minute. If most people who gamble lose, and losing isn't fun, Why would you partake in an activity which isn't fun? No? If you're playing softball with your buddies on the weekend just to have fun and you don't care about the score, that's okay. But if you're playing on an awful team and you're playing against a wonderful team and you really are competitive, like in golf or tennis, and you know you're going to lose, why spend a day on an activity that you know the outcome will be to your detriment and you'll be unhappy? Think about it. Greed. Humans are the most brilliant machine on planet Earth. We are. We're a complex group of people. But we're greedy. We all want what we either can't have or we want more. Could you imagine always wanting more? A woman who weighs 100 pounds thinks she's too big. She wants to get down to 92. A doctor that makes $400,000 a year wants to make $600,000 a year. Somebody who's working for minimum wage at $10 an hour, he wants $10.75 an hour. Greed. It's a horrible trait that us human beings have. Not to digress, but I will for a second. Next week's episode, we're going to talk about the government and how they prey on people because people are greedy.